All right, so something we're going to do every week now is we're going to talk about a random sport. We're going to try and come up with something, as I said, a bit random. And this week we've decided pickleball, right? So
Yes,
I don't really know much about it, but I've got a couple of questions for you. Hopefully you can answer them for us. So the first one is pickleball a legitimate sport on the rise, or is it just table tennis or tennis having a midlife crisis?
mate. I would have thought, until I'd done a little bit of investigating on it, I would have thought pickleball was just, a geriatric sport for old people like myself and cruise ships and everything else. Because it's just a small court. You can put it anywhere, can't you? It's almost like one of those little volleyball nets that you can take down to the beach. You just put a little bit. But I believe, I had a look at a few things that in America alone, it's the fastest growing sport by a long, long, long way. They've got 15 million registered participants in America. So when you consider we've only got 27 million people who live in Australia, you've
Yeah.
got 15 million people registered to play. Apart from that's not even the blokes who just play part time. So there's competitive players over there. I think over in Australia we've got just over a million people that are registered to play it. And I haven't seen them, but apparently we've got courts built and everything else over here. So for all my disdain about the sport, I think it's rubbish. I had to go on a cruise ship with it, and I thought it was pretty ordinary. I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's just going to be a young person's takeover. Remember, lawn bowls was just for the older people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now the young people are taking over. I think this is the one that's going to do it now. Pickleball. I don't get it. It's just a plastic type ball. It's almost like an oversized ping pong ball with holes in it, and a couple of paddle bats, and you can just draw chalk on the ground and put a net around. And I think that's the why people love it so much. I don't know. You can probably drink beers while you play it and bit of a casual go. But when I read that there was that many registered players in America, I can't really say it's not a sport on the rise because it's exploding over there. And you know what it's like. The world follows America, unfortunately, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So, well, speaking of exploding, the next question is why has pickleball exploded in popularity while sports like squash and badminton struggle to get the same attention?
Yeah, I know. I reckon it's just the accessibility to the courts, mate. You can, as I said, you can go down the. I think I was down Kmart, and there's a pickleball set. Like this is in Australian Kmart, pickleball set for $30, and it's just a net, two of these balls, and a couple of these plastic paddles, and that was it. All you actually need is a bit of concrete and some chalk to actually
Mark it out.
draw a market out, and away you go. You can play pickleball. You know,
Does
so
does the $30 kit come with instructions or rules?
well, you don't even need instructions, do you? Really, just hit the ball over the net. Like I
Yeah.
don't know how many times the ball can bounce or anything. As I said, I think it's more. It was more aimed at bloody older people and geriatrics like myself in nursing homes and cruise ships where you can put a small thing in for minimum fuss.
Yeah.
Minimum amount of equipment doesn't cost a lot to set up, which is probably why people love it so much in this day and age. You don't need squash and all that. You need a big indoor court, don't you? You need to go indoor. You need to join a.
You need the facilities, yeah.
You do exactly right. And as much as I used to like racquetball and bloody squash and all that, it's like ping pong. Look at ping pong, table tennis. It's huge because all you need is just one of those fold up tables you can get off eBay and marketplace for nothing these days.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of them, and you can just pack one up, put it in your garage, cheap paddles and a balls, and away you go. And you can play it while you're pissed, which is what a lot of people like as well. So
So you mentioned about the 15 million registered in America. So could pickleball eventually become bigger than tennis at grassroots level, or do you think potentially just a passing fad?
Oh, I don't know if it's going to be a. I don't think it'll explode. Like they're not going to have the US Open pickleball. There's not going to be a Grand Slam or anything. Well, they'll probably eventually with America or anything could happen. I don't know if they've got the backyards and everything over in Europe and everything. They're sort of tinier backyards, aren't they? Over in America, they're huge backyards. Here we've got medium-sized backyards. So I don't know if it'd explode in Europe as much. But, there's a world championship for everything in America, isn't it? The world cornhole throwing championships and, so many sports in America that are just based in America to the world championships. So I don't think it's going to explode and take over tennis.
Well, potentially, if it becomes a Commonwealth Games event,
well, yeah, so
it might build some.
the Yanks aren't part of the Commonwealth Games, are they? It's a miracle they don't try and push it into the Olympics.
Yeah, true.
That's where that's where most sports sort of, apart from breakdancing, we can thank ray gun for that. That it won't explode, that's for sure. But yeah, unless it gets into the Olympics, I don't know if many people know much about it. Did you know the sport was actually named after a dog? Did
really?
you know that? Yeah, so that's what I said in my extensive investigations, Fully. It was named after the family dog back in the 60s who used to chase the ball around, and his name was Pickles, apparently. So, I'm sure
did you know when the game originated, or what year, or what?
Yeah, in the 60s, I think it was the late 60s, it was a family were just out the back and decided to draw up a court. Basically what it did, they just drew up a court, had a bit of fun and thought, this is good, and then other people sort of latched onto it. So, but it didn't really explode until probably the last 10 years. Like, it had always been there.
I was going to say, I never realised it's been around that long, and I've only probably heard of it in the probably last 5 years, to be fair.
Yeah. No, look, I still hadn't heard of it until probably 2 years ago, to be honest. And once again, I was on my cruise ship trip, and there was a pickleball court on there, and I'm thinking, what the bloody hell is pickleball? I don't know. And I still didn't do anything about it. I did see some people randomly playing this game. I thought, that sucks. That's pretty ordinary, that game. It was just old people. And then we went to a trivia thing, and then in the sports trivia, it said, what's the fastest growing sport in the world at the moment? Was the question. I'm thinking, I wouldn't have a freaking clue, so I can't really remember what I did. And pickleball.
Yeah, right.
Pickleball is the answer. I mean, all right, I might have to have a look a bit more into this thing. What's going on? Because I thought it was crap, to be honest. Like, what's going on? It's just an oversized ping pong miniature undersized tennis court. That's all it is. But people love it. So, yeah.
Okay, so if you sent an NRL player down to Kmart and trained for 6 months with his pickleball set, who would become the best pickleball player and why, do you think?
Oh, mate, who would be? Let's think of this. I'll go 2 because they're always injured, so they've got plenty of time to play.
Very good.
Mitch Moses.
And because he's very competitive.
He's very competitive. He'd whinge a lot. You can imagine, mate, there's no referees or anything. You ref the game yourself, so you can imagine him. Any ball that's a little bit out is way out, and any ball that he hits that goes out is definitely in. So I think he'd whinge his way to the top. And he's a lot of time on the side. Ponga would join him, I reckon. He'd be quick around the court. Once again, he's got enough time. He's got enough time off the footy field to actually train and play. So they'd be my 2.
I was thinking Mitchell Moses and probably Gutho.
Gutho's at that age as well now where most people probably play it. So,
and they're always whinging, so they'd be whinging between themselves. The other 2 that I thought about too, and I heard a story when COVID was around and the teams were in the bubble, was the Melbourne Storm used to have like table tennis competitions, and it used to get really highly competitive. So 2 players like Cameron Munster and Nico Hines apparently were really competitive.
Well, Munster would, wouldn't he? He would take it on. Imagine a couple of the coaches, mate. After imagine a Craig Bellamy in there with a Ricky Stewart. How good those 2? They're at that age, and imagine wouldn't they fire up in a doubles contest if they were the doubles team against somebody?
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be win at all costs, and
then if you had Robbo, he'd be trying to get you on technicalities.
Oh, yeah, he'll be angles, and he'll be drawing grids, and this is getting a protractor out and saying you've got to hit it at this angle and this angle, and
I tell you, a good doubles team would be Robbo and Anthony Seibold, wouldn't they?
Oh, Jesus, yeah. No, that'd be fun. Oh, imagine that. Get a couple of the younger ones in there, maybe Benji and
Oz.
Oz. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Maybe they could have that, the NRL Pickleball Championships. And maybe we start, so maybe we can flog it off to Matty Johnson or that to start up the NRL Pickleball Championships.
Okay, so just finishing on pickleball, mate. Do you think it'll be a catch or a release down under, mate?
I think, unfortunately, it's already a catch. We've already got 1 million people playing it. So, would I play it? No, not interested in it. But I think many will. So I'm saying it's going to be a catch as much as I don't like it.
Would you watch it, or only if celebrities did it? Like we were trying
I
to
would
get
watch celebrities do it. I think that's what it, to me, that's what it's. I don't think it's as in a competitive, massive competitive sport where people are going to, play to try and win world championship. I think it'll be a lot of fun. As I said, it'll be a good beer drinking game, a bit like beer pong and all that.
Yeah.
Have a few beers, have a run around. I could see people doing it in their backyards and the backyard barbecues, and especially in the States and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it as an Olympic sport. I don't think it's. I'm sure over in America they do, but for me, I wouldn't sit down and watch it on TV or anything. That's for sure. I definitely wouldn't go pay to watch it. I'd seen enough of it on cruise ships. So that's my opinion. I'm sure some of the Yanks and some of the Aussies out here who play it, we've got registered players here. So
yeah. All right, Stoney, that's it. We've officially solved all the world's problems and created about 15 new ones.
Beautiful.
Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Fullystoned, where the stats are questionable, the opinions are solicited, and the confidence is completely unjustified.
Yes.
If you agree with us, you're obviously a genius. If you disagree with us, feel free to argue with us in the comments like every other armchair expert with Wi-Fi and too much spare time. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your mates, your enemies, your barber, even your local referee, or that bloke who still thinks his
parole
officer was robbed by the bunker on Friday night. So
yes.
Until next time, keep your hot takes good, your beer's cold, and get your receipts ready. And I'll catch you later, Stoney.
Catch you later, mate.